Nice to meet you.
We can make a proper choice. We can decide who best represents our ideals, who best represents liberty, who best represents constitutional governance. And ladies and gentlemen, we the people, I am that candidate. Last year, when your legislature and our governor and a few Republicans were considering the largest tax increase in U.S. history at the state level, I stood and I fought and I tried to defeat that tax. And on May 19th, the brand new Tea Party movement came out in force and defeated Proposition 1A almost 2-1 at the polls. During that time, one of my opponents, Tom Campbell, was running for governor. And Tom Campbell supported the largest tax increase in U.S. history at the state level, and he also supported a 32-cent a gallon gas tax increase on what's already the most expensive gas tax in America. Do you believe that gas tax increases, income tax increases, automobile tax increases, sales tax increases, do you believe that those are truly necessary in Sacramento? Does Sacramento really need more of your money? Well, while I was fighting that tax increase, my other opponent, Carly Fiorina, she was silent. Ladies and gentlemen, here's another big issue. Our president is about ready to nominate a new Supreme Court justice. And in all likelihood, that new nominee will not hold the values of the Constitution and rule of law as tightly as do we here today. We saw it with Sonia Sotomayor last year. Now, I stood opposed to Sonia Sotomayor's nomination because she said that empathy was more important than rule of law and following the Constitution. Carly Fiorina, Tom Campbell, and Barbara Boxer supported her nomination. Ladies and gentlemen, we the people, let me give you another example. Cap and trade energy tax, and AB 32, California's version of it. Barbara Boxer, Tom Campbell, and Carly Fiorina have all supported various schemes that would increase your energy taxes. I've always opposed those schemes because I believe that America needs America's oil and gas, even up in Alaska and even off the California coast. I also believe that America needs more modern nuclear power. Let me give you another example of where I differ from my opponents. We talked about Sonia Sotomayor. We talked about cap and trade. Ladies and gentlemen, I think the basic issue is one of freedom and liberty and the size and scope of government, because you see, in 2008, when people were panicking left and right because of government intervention into the marketplace, we saw a massive bailout of Wall Street and the banks, didn't we? Now, I wrote ahead of that bailout, I wrote an article about why it wouldn't work and why it would only encourage what's known as moral hazard. Moral hazard is where you allow someone to make money and take risks and transfer that risk to other people. Look to the right and to the left. You are that other people to whom the risk was transferred. Now, at the time, one of my opponents, Carly Fiorina, was the chief economic advisor to John McCain. And in that capacity, she supported the bailout of Wall Street, as did Tom Campbell and Barbara Boxer. So you're beginning to see some major differences between those three individuals who would seek your support for the Republican nomination for United States Senate against Barbara Boxer. We the people must take a stand. We the people must fight for freedom and for liberty. Because if we don't do it, who will do it for us? I need your help for my campaign. You see, I don't have a bunch of billionaires writing me $2,400 checks. But in spite of that, we have raised $1.8 million to date. And we've done it from over 23,000 individual donations. And let me let you in on a little secret.
We've raised a lot of the money using Al Gore's invention.
The internet. We need your help. If you go to chuckdevore.com and sign up, follow our campaign, send us $10, send us $20. Ask for a yard sign or a bumper sticker. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. That is how we can take this nation back, by networking, by sharing information, by telling our friends and neighbors about the campaigns and those individuals and initiatives that we support. Don't let the big money and the special interests continue to control our nation. Let's take California back. Let's take America back. Let's do it with hard work and patriotism. Now let me end by asking a couple of questions. Among all of the Tea Party activists here, how many of you were never active in politics before this year? Raise your hand if you've never been active in politics before this year. Now look around, everybody. You're seeing a lot of new people who've gotten engaged in the process. A lot of people who've been waking up to the fact that we, the people, do run this nation, and that we, the people, do have a voice. And lastly, let me ask a question. Every individual who has ever served in the armed forces of the United States, would you please stand right now and let us thank you for your service? Thank you. Now, I'm not rich and I'm not a celebrity, but back in 1983, I took an oath to support and defend the Constitution as a soldier in the United States Army. And I'm proud to say that today, as a lieutenant colonel in the U.S. Army Reserve, that I take that oath to support and defend our Constitution seriously, as should everybody in this stadium. So let's get out there and take the next step. You've come to the rally today. Let's get out there and let's help elect people who believe in liberty and the Constitution. Let's beat Barbara Boxer! Devore, everybody, give a hand.